half of Russia is grappling with heating, water and power outages in widespread utility crisis.
Here's a summary of the article.
Your profile can be used to present content that appears more relevant based on your possible interests, such as by adapting the order in which content is shown to you, so that it is even easier for you to find content that matches your interests. Content presented to you on this service can be based on your content personalization profiles, which can reflect your activity on this or other services, possible interests and personal aspects, such as by adapting the order in which content is shown to you, so that it is even easier for you to find content that matches your interests. Information regarding which content is presented to you and how you interact with it can be used to determine whether the content e.g. reached its intended audience and matched your interests. Reports can be generated based on the combination of data sets regarding your interactions and those of other users with advertising or content to identify common characteristics. Information about your activity on the service, such as your interaction with ads or content, can be very helpful to improve products and services and to build new products and services based on user interactions, the type of audience, etc. Content presented to you on this service can be based on limited data, such as the website or app you are using, your non-precise location, your device type, or which content you are interacting with. Certain information is used to ensure the technical compatibility of the content or advertising, and to facilitate the transmission of the content or ad to your device.
This post received a score of 5,600, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Despite critical wear and tear and a series of emergencies, the central Russian government is planning drastic reductions in spending on housing and utility infrastructure. The Russian federal budget for 2024 to 2026 indicates that funding for the housing and utilities sector will be cut by more than half. Summary. Moscow and the Kremlin don't give a damn about the rest of Russia and Russian citizens but themselves.
There's still at least 2 cold months ahead. It would be a shame if some Ukrainians' drones hit some gas pipes OT top of that, like a little karma for last winter.
It would be a great karma bite given what Putin has done to Ukraine. I keep hoping an insurrection and internal civil war happens in Russia against the Kremlin, but that's just wishful thinking given the strict military control installed by Putin.
People need to remember, those military folks themselves are being affected by this and they have family they need to look after too. It's one thing curbing some anti-war protesters, but when everyone's pissed off with living conditions, things can get tetchy quick.
They don't give a fuck, even if they all freeze back home.
Most are sensitive to family suffering even if they are of the fuck everyone else opinion. It only needs one person going through tough times for resentment to be stoked. It's not old Soviet times either. Most have tasted Western lifestyles in some way or another, so know exactly what they're missing.
Russians don't mind if they suffer, if someone else suffers more.
There's a Russian saying I heard that was basically, if you can make someone else happy, then you have twice as much happiness. If you can make someone else miserable, then you have half as much misery.
Similarly, there's a story of a genie granting someone a wish, with the only caveat that their neighbor gets 2x of whatever they wished for. The person thinks for a minute, then wishes to lose an eye.
Just speaking as a broke hot dog salesman, if there are any genies out there willing to give me $10 billion, I don't care if Dave next door gets $20 billion. I'm fine with this proposition.
Everyone that did the maintenance on that ancient Soviet infrastructure already died in Ukraine. Instead of calling it a war and mobilizing the youth, they secretly mobilized the older generation and minorities from the other annexed regions of Russia, especially the non-white ones, and sent them to their deaths. The commie block heating is old Soviet tech, and I'm sure most of the guys maintaining that stuff was old. They're already having issues with staffing in general, and I'm sure this sort of thing is only the beginning of their future struggles. Putler is really digging himself in a hole.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.